Having lived in Austin for nearly 2 decades, I've discovered some of the best suburbs throughout the entire metro area. If you are considering a move, you may want to check out these lesser known suburbs situated just west of downtown Austin in the beautiful Texas Hill Country. Today, I'm going to break down these four great locations and dive into everything that they have to offer. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to tackle these areas starting with the farthest from downtown Austin and work our way back towards the city center, which brings us to our first location of Lakeway. So first off, where is Lakeway? Lakeway is somewhat framed between two main roads, Highway 71 and 620 in Lake Travis, tucked towards the back of Lakeway itself. When you hear people reference Old Lakeway, this is actually the original section off of Lakeway Boulevard, and closer to Highway 71, you'll find the newer section of Lakeway that includes master plan communities like Rough Hollow, Serene Hills, and several others that I'll highlight here as well. In terms of proximity, you're about 25 miles west of downtown Austin, or a roughly 30 to 35-minute drive door to door. The original section of Lakeway really appeals to many people because of the variety of homes, which range anywhere from remodeled 1960s properties to multi-million-dollar new construction, often overlooking Lake Travis itself, that I'll highlight here for you as well. Before I show you these homes and pockets, let's talk about how these areas really break down and what you can actually expect in terms of the amenities within. Starting with Old Lakeway, you're going to find plenty of really pretty parks, trails, and amenities throughout this entire area. Because of this, people often expect there's going to be a hefty HOA with monthly association dues, but you'll be pleased to know that this is actually not the case. In good news, the city still does a very good job of enforcing certain guidelines, mainly to keep the neighborhood still looking nice, just without those pesky HOA fees each month. In Lakeway, you'll also find four different parks, including City Park that has a really nice paved path along the way, a dog park, playground for the kids, and a really great spot to picnic and hang out by the lake itself. Because this particular park is actually situated in one of the coves on Lake Travis, you'll also find people often cliff jumping, dropping their kayaks in the water on those really nice days, and it's just a really cool spot to hang out that's local. The majority of lakes in Texas are man-made reservoirs, so the lake levels do fluctuate. It's really important to know that. If you're interested in lake living, be sure to reach out to us because we can tell you all about the nuances of lake living and all of the things that you should certainly look out for if you're considering a move. In addition to the parks, you have multiple green belts running throughout the city. So you're going to find people walking their dogs, biking, or going for a run on all these really nice trails because of the really great vegetation throughout and that true green belt nature that you're going to find in the Lakeway area. You likely wouldn't even know these green belts existed. So be sure to be on the lookout in the area during your next visit. One of my favorite things about living in Lakeway is the variety of homes throughout. Each street has a different look and feel to it. And as you go towards the back of Lakeway, closer to Lake Travis itself, you'll find some of my favorite homes, many of which have really big lake views and typically sell in the $1.5 to $3 million range. They're gorgeous homes, definitely a spot to check out if that's your cup of tea. In this area, you'll also find older remodeled homes all the way to brand new custom construction throughout. There are also condos and townhomes in the area for more of that lock and leave setup for those who are looking for a little less maintenance as well. Covered a lot about Old Lakeway, but there is also a newer section that includes the master plan development of Rough Hollow that's been built out over the last 10 years. The homes in Rough Hollow are newer and have more of a Mediterranean or Tuscan style to them. If you're looking for more of that Pacific Coast or modern farmhouse style, though, there are a couple of sections where you can actually find this look, which I will take you into shortly. In Rough Hollow, there's really something for everyone in terms of lifestyle. I mentioned the lock and leave setup with minimal maintenance. There are also waterfront condos that live more like single family homes. So definitely a flavor for everyone depending on exactly what you're looking for. The majority of homes, though, throughout are traditional single family homes that average anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, with a special gated section offering even larger homes, many of which are situated on really nice waterfront home sites. Touching on Lakeway a little bit more, many people here think Lakeway is just a suburb of Austin, and while it is certainly that, it is also a city in and of itself, which is really interesting. When in Lakeway, you are truly in the city of Lakeway. So you have your own police force, municipality, which many people really like when they're considering a move to the area and may want to be slightly removed move from Austin proper. Before I dive into more about the schools in Lakeway and the new construction homes themselves that are in the works, one more thing that people really enjoy about the area is the wildlife that you're going to find throughout. There are white-tailed deer all throughout Lakeway, as well as plenty of other furry little friends that you're going to find. The animals really do thrive in this area because of the established nature, vegetation, flowing creeks, and all of the really nice green space that I was mentioning a little bit earlier. If wildlife isn't your thing, because I know that's the case for many people, you might also want to go into some of the newer areas that I've mentioned, such as Rough Hollow, Serene Hills, and some of the other spots that we can discuss. You'll definitely find less wildlife in these areas, although it is still there. Whether or not you have kids, purchasing a home in a top-rated school district only helps your resale value at the end of the day. Lakeway is part of the Lake Travis Independent School District with multiple elementary schools, a couple of middle schools, and a really nice high school, Lake Travis High School. This is a top-ranked district in both the state and country and has a really strong sports presence as well, making it a very popular destination for many families, or as I mentioned, those who are just very conscious of resale factor. With the recent growth in the area, you'll also find that some of these elementary schools are newer with very nice facilities. I know this can be a big plus for many families relocating to the area. If you are wanting a home that's newer than what you can find in Old Lakeway, you may want to explore the communities of Rough Hollow or Serene Hills. There are still a handful of homes remaining, including an opportunity to build on several of these home sites. These are almost gone though, because these areas have been developed for quite some time. So be sure to reach out to us for more of that insider information and further details. There is also a really neat spot in the works in Rough Hollow that not many people know about called The Point. It's a small David Weekley community situated on one of the hilltops in the Rough Hollow community with panoramic views of the hill country and parts of Lake Travis itself. These are low maintenance, freestanding condos that give more of that urban feel in a hill country setting that you're going to find in the Lakeway area. Again, be sure to reach out to us for additional perks that are not offered elsewhere. If you're looking for something large and exclusive, there is one of my favorite spots in Rough Hollow, which is the gated section of the peninsula, where you're going to find custom homes currently under construction and newer ones that occasionally go on the resale market also. These are larger home sites, many of which have hill country and lake views, some of which even have their own private boat docks on Lake Travis. Before jumping into our next location, I want to quickly welcome you to the channel, or back to the channel. My name is Aubrey von Behren. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the Austin area, helping hundreds of people make a move to and within the entire Austin metro. If you're interested in working together along the way, be sure to call, text, or email. I would love to connect about your move to Austin. As always, if you're happy with the content that I'm putting together for you, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Like this video. It helps motivate me to continue putting out more helpful content along the way. Working our way towards downtown Austin, our next stop along the way is Bee Cave, which is roughly 8 square miles in size and located 12 miles west of downtown Austin. Bee Cave also borders Lakeway to the southeast and is a suburb in the same county as Austin, which is known as Travis County. The drive to and from downtown Austin typically takes around 20 to 30 minutes door to door and is very accessible through major roadways such as Highway 71 and Ranch Road 620. If you plan on commuting to work at some of the tech companies located in North Austin, or even frequenting some of our popular shopping areas up north, the Domain, then your drive might be a little bit closer to 40 or 45 minutes, depending on exactly where you're going. What I love about Bee Cave, though, is that you're incredibly close to Lake Travis and multiple marinas throughout the area, similar to the area of Lakeway that I just touched on. So if you are into lake life and you like the idea of having those things nearby, you're only 10 to 15 minutes from most marinas and lake access points all throughout this particular area. Like Lakeway, Bee Cave is also considered a suburb of Austin, but what many people don't realize is that it's also truly the city of Bee Cave, with your own police force, municipality, library, parks, and even more. For those who don't want to be part of the city of Austin for various reasons, but want to still enjoy the close proximity to downtown Austin and those happenings, this is a really big draw for people moving to the area, just like I mentioned in the city of Lakeway itself. There are 13 neighborhoods neighborhoods in Bee Cave, which range from newer master plan communities to the older established areas with larger acreage home sites. So quite the variety throughout. There are even newer homes that offer walkability within one of the major outdoor shopping areas that I will highlight here shortly. Not many people know about these, and they're pretty neat for someone looking for more of that urban setup that is very hard to find in this particular location specifically. Although Bee Cave is not a large area, you're going to find a lot of really great housing options nearby. So be sure to stick with me because I'm also going to show you behind the gates of not only my favorite neighborhood in Bee Cave itself, but one of my all-time favorite neighborhoods in the entire Austin metro. Before we dive into the neighborhoods, which I'm very excited to highlight, it's important to understand the types of amenities that you're going to find in the area where you will likely be spending the majority of your time if you were to live in Bee Cave. First, let's talk about the major hub in Bee Cave known as the Hill Country Galleria. After that, I'm going to let you in on a little surprise development that's underway just next door to the Hill Country Galleria. The Galleria itself is a fantastic mixed-use outdoor shopping area. You'll find over 75 restaurants, large anchor stores like Dillard's, H&M, Barnes & Noble, as well as a super nice outdoor pavilion where they host live performances that range anywhere from plays to really good live music. If you're in the area, be sure to check out their farmers market that they have periodically as well. Really nice, fun on a nice day. During the holidays, another popular one is the ice skating rink that they put up in the middle of the Galleria. So of course, a popular spot for kids and families to hang out. Bee Cave also has a great city park called Bee Cave Central Park just around the corner from the Galleria. You could actually walk to and from this park incredibly easily if you happen to live in the area. The park is 50 acres, so just enough space not to be on top of other park goers. There's a scenic paved loop that's about 1.5 miles. Great spot to walk or bike. You also have a really nice dog park to take your little furry friends and of course meet people, especially if you're new to the area. This can be a great spot. This park is, of course, incredibly kid-friendly, as many of them are, with a playscape, basketball courts, and nice picnic areas as well. What I'm really excited about is the new redevelopment of the backyard, which started out as an old Austin staple and a well-known outdoor live music venue. The original backyard location hosted names like Bob Dylan, David Bowie, Willie Nelson, Coldplay, one of my favorites, Sheryl Crow, and so many others. So a really cool spot and historic landmark here in the Austin area. In the works is an entire redevelopment of the backyard, which will cover 35 acres, including 12 different food, beverage, music, and cultural offerings. And because the backyard was always centered around live music, the new venue is going to include a 3,700 seat amphitheater, a 150 room boutique hotel, public park, and office space. It's going to be a killer development, especially in this hill country setting. Since you've been patiently waiting, let's dive into some of the neighborhoods in Bee Cave that offer a little something for everyone, with my favorite exclusive gated neighborhood being my surprise for you here shortly. First, you have the neighborhood of Falconhead, which is a really nice master plan community and home to the Falconhead Golf Club, which makes it a very popular spot for those avid golfers out there. Falconhead is made up of two sections, with the original section being accessible from Ranch Road 620 and the newer section, Falconhead West, being accessible from Highway 71. Both of these sections make up one neighborhood of Falconhead, but because of the different access points, you have some really nice flexibility depending on various traffic patterns in the area. Most of these homes were built in the late 2000s and average anywhere from 3 to 5 bedrooms and 2,500 to 4,500 square feet. The different sections also come with a variety of home types specific to your particular lifestyle. In some areas, you'll find large lots and homes overlooking the golf course. And in other pockets, you're going to find the newer homes that offer more of that patio style with smaller yards and more of your lock and leave setup for those who might be looking for a little more flexibility and less maintenance in their home. I mentioned Falconhead Golf Club, which is actually one of the few public courses in the area. We have many others nearby in Lakeway that are operated by the Hills Country Club, but these are all private courses with membership offerings. The Falconhead course itself winds within the really nice hilly topography in the area. It has some of those nice elevated greens throughout, which makes it a very popular course in this particular Bee Cave location. On to our next community. This is Lake Point, tucked just behind the Hill Country Galleria for really nice close proximity to shopping and restaurants that I mentioned, while still in a great spot to enjoy the nice oak trees, hills, and even lake access in the back of the community that I'll tell you about here in a minute. This has been a staple in Bee Cave since the 90s, so it's one of the more established established neighborhoods in a relatively new area in general. You'll find a wide range of homes in Lake Point, from the smaller homes and lots in the front of the community to the more upscale homes and larger properties towards the back of the neighborhood, which is also situated a little bit closer to Lake Austin for your really nice views. There is a great gated section in the back of Lake Point that is the most upscale section within the community, where you're going to find those really nice hill country views and even views of Lake Austin itself down below. Like many of the other master plan communities, you'll find a community pool, playscape, and nice areas to hike throughout the neighborhood. Before I jump into my favorite and very exclusive community in Bee Cave, I mentioned some of the newer, more urban homes that offer fantastic walkability within the Hill Country Galleria. These are high-end 3-story homes tucked within the Galleria shopping center. What's really neat about these is that as the area grows and develops with trendy shops and restaurants, these homes are, for the time being, the only truly walkable areas to this shopping and restaurant destination. I promised you a surprise, and that is my favorite neighborhood in Bee Cave and one of my all-time favorites in Austin as well. Diving in, this community offers 900 acres of gorgeous hill country and also happens to be a fantastic golf course neighborhood with 2 manned guard gates for ample privacy and security. Each home in this neighborhood is one of a kind, and there are now over 350 completed residences. With the homes being unique to one another, you'll find that they vary in terms of size as well, ranging anywhere from 2,500 square feet to more than 10,000 square foot homes, which are incredibly impressive. In terms of architectural styles, there are influences from the Pacific Coast and hill country to your more Mediterranean flair, if you will. This community also has thousands of acres of nature preserves nearby, and many of the homes overlook the gorgeous private golf course that I'll tell you more about here shortly. Before I reveal the name of the neighborhood, I want to paint a great picture of offerings that you'll find without ever having to even leave your neighborhood. Let's start with the golf club. This is a private 18-hole course ranked number 6 in the state by Golf Digest. It's very impressive. If you'd like a drink, a casual lunch, or even a nice dinner, you're right around the corner from the clubhouse restaurant that overlooks the 3rd hole. Again, all of this is without ever even leaving your neighborhood. When you join the golf club, you're also going to find a ton of activities, from Friday night family dinners to special occasion parties and barbecues. These lifestyle events are really great opportunities to meet people, especially if you're new and relocating to a particular neighborhood or city for that matter. There's also a pool pavilion that includes a multi-level pool with lap lanes, quiet areas with waterfalls, and a sandy beach shallow area to just hang out on a really nice afternoon. In addition to the 7 parks in the community, you'll find an extensive trail system that winds through the neighborhood. Really nice for those who like to take a morning or evening stroll on those really nice days. Thank you for waiting for the big reveal. The name of this lovely community is Spanish Oaks. If you are interested in opportunities within, be sure to reach out to me, because many of the homes in this area are privately marketed and not available online. Next on our list is the gorgeous area of Barton Creek, just under 10 miles west of downtown Austin. Before we get into the homes you'll find throughout this area, located in the rolling hills of West Austin, this is home to the Barton Creek Greenbelt, a 7.9-mile park with really nice swimming spots, hiking and biking trails, and even areas to rock climb and boulder. This is a very popular destination for all those Austinites who really enjoy the outdoor activities, especially so close to the city center. On top of several community parks and playgrounds, Barton Creek is also home to the Barton Creek Country Club, with multiple restaurants, pools, tennis courts, the Omni Hotel for all of your guests, and a very popular golf course. Overall, there is absolutely no shortage of green space or shopping and dining options nearby, with its really prime location so close to Austin proper. Moving on to the type of homes you're going to find in the area, it's really important to point out that Barton Creek also feeds into one of the top rated school districts, not only in the state, but the entire country. This is Eanes Independent School District. When it comes to real estate, Barton Creek features large homes with various architectural styles, as well as many nice gated communities and sprawling estates that you're going to be able to find throughout this area. The homes in the area were really designed to offer great views of the rolling hills. As I mentioned, you're in the Texas Hill Country, so you get those big, expansive canyon views and hill country highlights. And the homes range from old to new, traditional to more contemporary. There's a little something for everyone in this Barton Creek location. We have made it to our fourth lesser known suburb within the greater Austin area, and this is known as Westlake Hills, also referred to as Westlake. You can be as close as 5 minutes to downtown or as far as roughly 20 minutes. No matter how you slice it, though, you're incredibly close and convenient to Austin proper. And that's what people love about this Westlake location. In the area, you're typically either traveling on 360, aka Capital of Texas Highway, or down B Caves Road into central Austin. Because of the prime location to downtown Austin and the gorgeous surroundings, many people have chosen to build impressive homes within Westlake over the years. Before diving into some of these areas and the amenities throughout, I think it's important to quickly highlight something that not many people know, and that's the fact that Westlake is actually its own city with its own police force, similar to a couple of the other areas we've covered today. Diving into the outdoor activities that make this a great spot, it's important to note that these are essentially in your backyard when you live in Westlake. Again, a huge appeal for people moving to the area. Starting with Lake Austin at the iconic Pennybacker Bridge, you'll find the 360 boat ramp where many people launch their boats into Lake Austin for wake surfing and a really nice day on the water. This is actually one of my favorite views in Austin, overlooking the Austin Country Club, where you'll find that they host the PGA Tour every year and the rolling hills all throughout the Westlake area. The Pennybacker Bridge overlook just across the boat launch and up the hill is a really popular spot to walk up and take in this gorgeous city view that I was just mentioning. Along this stretch, you'll also find the exclusive Lake Austin waterfront homes that have private docks and gorgeous waterfront lots. Before telling you about one of my favorite spots that not many people know about, let's briefly talk about Barton Creek Greenbelt, which also runs through Barton Creek that I mentioned a moment ago. This greenbelt also runs through Westlake and into South Austin. It's a go-to spot for hiking, biking, and even rock climbing and bouldering, like I mentioned. It's a really pretty 12-mile trail with several access points throughout the Austin area. One of my favorite parks, though, is Redbud Isle, which is a lakefront off-leash dog park situated on 13 acres. It's become a much more popular spot in recent years, as have most parts of Austin. So you might want to get there early or go on those off days, but it's a really nice spot to take a stroll, or if you're adventurous, dip in the water on a summer day. This is just one of those spots that you're going to find in your backyard if you're living in the Westlake area. Before diving into some of the popular neighborhoods in Westlake, I mentioned Austin Country Club, where you can become a member. To my knowledge, there's still a waiting list at Austin Country Club, as there is at many other locations, but if you make fast friends, sometimes that helps. On the note of country clubs, there's also a newer Westlake Country Club, formerly Lost Creek Country Club, with everything you can imagine from golf and racket courts to social events and really nice dining options. Before we jump into the neighborhoods, let's highlight the amenities that you're going to find in the area. There are several great shopping centers that house grocery stores, restaurants, coffee shops, and so much more. You'll find a few of these along the B Cave Road stretch, as well as farther north on Capital of Texas Highway, located at Davenport Village near the Pennybacker Bridge that I mentioned. Davenport Village is more restaurant and small business geared, so I'll tell you a little bit more about the spots off of B Cave Road that may be a bit more applicable. The Village at Westlake is on the corner of Capital of Texas Highway and B Cave Road, where you'll find an H-E-B, Starbucks, Gold's Gym, and several local restaurants. As we work our way east on B Caves Road, we'll get to the West Bank Shopping Center with a Randall's grocery store, CVS, post office, and many more shops and restaurants, all tucked into that nice, convenient shopping center. One of my favorite local coffee shops, Summer Moon, has a location situated in here as well. Las Palomas is also a really popular local Mexican restaurant tucked back in the corner of this shopping center. With the continued growth in the area, though, these shopping centers are really starting to get updated with nicer stores moving in and many of those trendier shops that you'll find throughout the central Austin area. Continuing east on B Caves Road is our third hub, which is home to Westlake Trader Joe's location, Panera Bread, and several other local shops. For your other shopping needs, you're just minutes from Barton Creek Mall that has other popular stores like Nordstrom, Dillard's, Apple's, and many of those others that we've come to know and love. Since you've been patiently waiting, let's dive into a couple of neighborhoods in Westlake. Keep in mind there are numerous neighborhoods throughout this entire area, but I'll highlight two of them today, some of the most popular spots within. If this does seem like a spot for you, be sure to reach out to us though, so we can give you an even more comprehensive overview of some of these specific locations that may be a really nice fit for your next move. life. Like Barton Creek, it's important to mention that this entire area feeds into one of the highest rated school districts in the entire country, which is Eanes Independent School District. This has made it a very desirable location for families with kids, or even those who appreciate having that in the mix just for resale purposes. First, let's discuss Westlake Hills itself. This is a really neat area that is primarily steep, hilly topography. This topography is one of the things that makes it really pretty though, and one of the reasons that you'll see so many incredible homes being built all throughout the hillside for those amazing canyon views. Throughout most of this area, you'll find hilly, winding roads with one lane on either side. And because of this, I find that most of the streets are not really safely walkable compared to what you might find in some of the more traditional neighborhoods with those wider streets, sidewalks, and other offerings throughout. Again, there are of course pockets and micro neighborhoods within the Westlake area that do allow for more of that community or neighborhood feel, but that isn't necessarily the norm in the heart of Westlake, and I think that's important to know. In this area, you'll find properties that range anywhere from older 1970s homes that are ripe for updating, all the way up to multi-million-dollar contemporary new construction with gorgeous views of the hill country and downtown Austin. Because the homes are primarily custom in this area, you'll also find a wide range of design styles. If you're looking for even more exclusive homes, specifically waterfront on Lake Austin, you'll even find this on the perimeter of Westlake. As you work your way down to the water, you'll find really nice, large, flat home sites with private boat docks and super impressive homes all along that shoreline. You might be gathering that this is a very nuanced area, so be sure to reach out to me so we can talk more about the details and everything that you really need to consider if you're considering a move to the Westlake area. Rolling Wood is our next spot that actually gets you the closest to downtown Austin, has less hilly topography, and the streets are wider for that greater walkability within the neighborhood. What's really neat about this area is that you can actually walk from your house to the popular Zilker Park itself. It's a bit of a walk, but this is definitely the most walkable spot within the entire Westlake area if that's something that's important to you. The homes within Rolling Wood range from updated ranch-style homes built many decades ago to newer, more modern homes that we're seeing throughout the Zilker and Barton Hills areas just east of Rolling Wood. On that note, be sure to check out my video, The Most Exciting Neighborhoods in Austin, where I highlight these areas just south of downtown. There's some really cool spots that are very close to this Rolling Wood section. When you're in Rolling Wood, you'll find yourself likely shopping at the Randall's or Trader Joe's off of Bee Caves Road, just around the corner, or perhaps at the Whole Foods downtown flagship store because you're situated so close to downtown Austin. Rolling Wood is a really nice balance for those looking to be in more of a neighborhood setting, but still be so close to all of the downtown Austin offerings. As you can likely see, there are numerous reasons these areas have become so popular for people moving to the area or already living in Austin. Again, be sure to reach out to us so we can talk more about the areas that might be the best fit for you, as well as some of the things you may want to really avoid when living in these particular locations. Just as a reminder, my name is Aubrey von Behren. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the Austin area. If you're interested in working together, be sure to call, text, or email, and let's connect about your next move. Until next time.